Bind thou up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples, and I will wait for Yahweh that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom Yahweh hath given me are for signs and for wonders in Yisrael from Yahweh of hosts, who dwelleth in Mount Zion. And when they shall say to you, Seek to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards that chirp and that mutter, should not a people seek to their God? On behalf of the living, should they seek to the dead? To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, surely there is no mourning for them. And they shall pass through it sore distressed and hungry, and it shall be that, when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves, and curse by their king and by their God, and turn their faces upward. And they shall look to the earth, and behold distress and darkness, the gloom of anguish, and into thick darkness they shall be driven away. Yeshayahu chapter 9. But there shall be no gloom to her that was in anguish. In the former time he brought into contempt the land of Zabulon and the land of Naphtali, but in the latter time hath he made it glorious, by the way of the sea, beyond the Jordan, Galil of the nations. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwelt in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. Thou hast multiplied the nation, thou hast increased their joy. They joy before thee, according to the joy in harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, thou hast broken, as in the day of Madian. For all the armor of the armed man in the tumult, and the garments rolled in blood, shall be for burning, for fuel of fire. For to us a child is born, and to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Pele Yoeth El Gebor Aviad Shar Shalom. Of the increase of his government and of peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from henceforth even forever. The zeal of Yahweh of hosts will perform this. The Lord sent a word into Jacob, and it hath lighted upon Israel, and all the people shall know, even Ephraim and the inhabitants of Shamaron, that say in pride and in stoutness of heart, The bricks are fallen, but we will build with hewn stone. The sycamores are cut down, but we will put cedars in their place. Therefore Yahweh will set up on high against him the adversaries of Rathin, and will stir up his enemies, Aram before, and the Pelishtim behind, and they shall devour Yisrael with open mouth. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Yet the people have not turned to him that smote them, neither have they sought Yahweh of hosts. Therefore Yahweh will cut off from Yisrael head and tail, palm branch and rush, in one day. The older and the honourable man, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. For they that lead this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord will not rejoice over their young men, neither will he have compassion on their fatherless and widows. For every one is profane and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For wickedness burneth as the fire, it devoureth the briars and thorns. Yea, it kindleth in the thickets of the forest, and they roll upward in a column of smoke. Through the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land burnt up, and the people are as fuel of fire. No man spareth his brother. And one shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. Manasseh Ephraim, and Ephraim Manasseh, and they together shall be against Yehudah. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and to the writers that write perverseness, to turn aside the needy from justice, and to rob the poor of my people of their right, that widows may be their spoil, and that they make the fatherless their prey. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help? And where will ye leave your glory? They shall only bow down under the prisoners, and shall fall under the slain. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still.